And good afternoon. We welcome you in. It's the Patrick Netherton Show right here in 1130, The Tiger. Hang on just a second. I just realized I've got the wrong... I get everything right and then just mess one thing up, and it happens every single time, I swear. You'd think by now I'd have it all figured out, but no, I don't have it all figured out just yet. Seems like every time we got to get something figured out, then something else goes wrong. So, 1 second. Just got to get these... There we go. Now we're better. Okay. All good now. Rogers, everything sound good on your end, my friend? Everything sound good?
Sounds like normal.
Okay, beautiful. That's what I like. That's what I like to hear. All right, so we are good. We're hanging in there. We're all connected, and everything's as it should be. All right, it is the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, and of course the YouTube channel and Twitter, and we'll get to all that. We'll tell you about all that coming up in just a bit. Obviously, we've got a lot going on. LSU baseball has made it to Game 7 and will face North Carolina in a winner-take-all. And perhaps even more importantly, for LSU, if they win, they will host a super regional. So that is obviously a big deal. West Virginia came out of the bracket that LSU is paired with. West Virginia, the 3 seed in their bracket. And because of that, LSU will have the ability to host. They did already put in a bid, by the way, for a super regional. So that's already a done deal. And basically, if they beat whoever wins the North Carolina LSU game hosts the super regional. So obviously that becomes a very big deal as well. But yeah, so huge stakes on the line, not just to obviously not end your season and to kind of keep your season going, but also to potentially host a super regional. And that's obviously a huge deal. So we'll get into that. I know Hambone's happy that we got to talk more about Caitlin Clark and what went down for her over the weekend. We got to discuss that and the insane reaction to it. That's what's crazy. I mean, people are losing their damn minds over the hip check, and so we'll tell you why the play itself was not okay, but really the culprit here was not Caitlin Clark. The culprit was the officiating crew and then ultimately the league, who tried to come back in and correct it after the fact. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We've got Major League Baseball continuing on. We've got the NBA Finals, which will begin, I don't know, sometime in the next couple of weeks. Again, we talked about that. Had Dallas ended up sweeping Minnesota, the NBA Finals was going to be like a week and a half before they started, but that series stretched out an extra game, and because of that, it is going to take a little bit longer. We're not going to be quite as long a wait, but still a reasonably significant wait to get things going for that for the first game of the finals. And should be a fun one, Boston and Dallas. I'll give you my prediction on it. I've, not being an NBA expert, I'm not here to say go to Vegas or DraftKings or any of the other apps with my prediction. It's just kind of how I think it'll turn out, and we'll see. I'm sure I'm likely to be wrong when it comes to predicting sports that I don't know that much about. I do know that Luka Doncic should have been the MVP. All right, above and beyond that, we've got let's see, college baseball. The Sweet 16 is nearly set. There's a few Game 7s today. The Women's College World Series on the softball side is being just hammered by weather. The games keep getting pushed back, but the cream sort of rising to the top when it comes to the Women's College World Series. And then, whatever else is on your mind, what'd you get up to this weekend? Would love to hear what you had on the docket. Were you locked in on the LSU games? Were you watching Squeeze play and sort of wraparound coverage. I would love to know what you had going on this weekend. What was happening in your world? So let us know. Give us a shout. We would absolutely love to hear from you and get your thoughts on everything that went on. All right. Ways to get in touch with the show. You can call us if you like on the Pearl Restaurant hotline. The Pearl Restaurant over on 70th and Fern Avenue in the old La Madeleine building, continuing to do just amazing things. Again, not open Monday, Tuesday, but will be open beginning on Wednesday, open Wednesday through Sunday, lunch and dinner. Just some of the most spectacular food that you could possibly want to put in your mouth. Just incredible. Everything from drinks to appetizers to entrees to desserts. You name it. They've got it. Louisiana-inspired cuisine with a little twist. Some stuff that you may not have ever had before. I've never had boudin dip before. Like, obviously, I've eaten boudin in a sausage casing. I've never eaten boudin in a dip form, and it was spectacular. So, the Pearl Restaurant giving you the best in the business, and certainly hope that you get over and check out Robert and his crew. For how good a job they do with the Pearl Restaurant. So you can find them at 70th and Fern. They also are the sponsor of our hotline. That number is 318-RALLY-45, 318-725-5945.
Hello.
Hey, Coach O. You can also reach us via the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line. That number is 318-657-0HAM. That's 318-657-0426, also known as the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line. So give us a shout over there. Either text us or call us. Either one, we would absolutely positively love to have you. Those are two terrific ways that you can get in touch with our little show over here, and we would greatly appreciate it if you would do that. You can also find us, if you like, on the YouTube channel, where we tend to hang out over on YouTube. Easy way to watch the show. If you are so inclined to do so, just go to youtube.com/@Netherton Show. That's youtube.com/@Netherton Show. That will allow you to go ahead and be a part. You can do whatever you like once you're there. You can subscribe to the channel, which is what we kindly request that you do, because that helps our numbers out. We are sitting just shy of 400 subscribers. We'd love to get to 400 subscribers before the week is out. So if you have not subscribed, please do so. We would greatly appreciate it. It is an easy way for you to follow along with what we got going on. When we do interviews, we post them on the YouTube channel as well. So we would greatly appreciate it if you would do so. So go ahead and subscribe. Again, youtube.com/@Netherton Show. youtube.com/@Netherton Show. You can also find us, if you like, over on Twitter/X. That's pretty simple. There he is. Twitter or X is available to you at Netherton Show. That is the main show page at Netherton Show. You can also find that guy back over in West Shreveport. He is at Heyboy Rogers. At Heyboy Rogers. Don't forget the S while you're there at the end of the thing. It's Heyboy Rogers with an S, not just Roger. There's multiple of him. So make sure you do that, and then you can find me. I am at PT Netherton. So there's your three Twitters: at Netherton Show, at PT Netherton, at Heyboy Rogers. So find us on those three. We are also available for you via the app, which is really a terrific way to tune in. If you have not done so, the app sounds really good. It's crystal clear, sounds amazing. Really highly suggest that you go listen that way if you're not watching us on YouTube or obviously not listening on the radio on 1130 or 103.3 FM. The app, though, just sounds incredible. It's like I'm right there next to you, or you're right near next to me in my bed, which is probably not something probably not a good selling point of the app, really, if you think about it. But nevertheless, we digress, as we often do. Let's see. I guess that means we got to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, everybody. Rogers Hampton.
We represent the lollipop guild, the lollipop guild, the lollipop guild, and in the name of the lollipop guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkin Land.
Hey, boy. Hey, boy.
Hi, man.
Hello.
What's up, my dude?
Monday.
Monday. By the way, Chase just commented on the YouTube stream that we need a ham cam.
Oh, no, we don't.
No. Rogers, we learned our lesson years and years ago. Hambone does not want a ham cam, especially when I'm not there. You know, if I was there, it'd be one thing because, you know, he'd kind of, but when I'm not there, there's no telling what's going on in that studio. I don't know, and I probably don't want to know. That's why I don't want a ham cam. I don't need to see it. So, yeah, we learned that lesson a while back. He did have his own camera back on the Brando show back in the day when Hurricane Sandy. Was that when Sandy hit, Rogers? When
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember when he gosh, I can think of his name now off the top of my head. Your camera operator. Oh gosh, Kevin, thank you. I'm just like say we're even friends on Facebook. Yeah, so when Hurricane Sandy hit New York, they sent down all the guys from New York so basically our radio show was, the audio was sent to Houston and the video was sent to New York, and the CBS Sports Network people produced the show out of New York while we were doing it in Shreveport. At the time, it was pretty revolutionary. We were using fiber optics and stuff. Like the guy who put it together won an award for it. The head of CBS's technical stuff, he actually won an award for putting that together. But we would send our video to New York and our audio to Houston, and then we were on Yahoo Sports Radio and Sirius XM, whatever. Audio-wise, and then video-wise, we would be over on CBS Sports Network. But we had a whole crew in New York that had to produce the video feed, put graphics on it and handle the audio and make sure that all of that stuff. So when Hurricane Sandy hit New York, they all relocated to Shreveport for a couple of weeks to do the show basically in-house. They brought a production truck in and parked a production truck out back of the studios, and we did the show the same as we all did, but instead of the video going back to New York, it was going into the production truck, and they were doing it that way. And we had a great time, like when those folks were there. But Hambone had his own camera. We actually had Kevin, who came in and had a legit, on the shoulder camera, like you see. Folks out there, still to this day shooting video for TV stations and whatnot. And, you see folks on the sidelines for games and they've got that on the shoulder camera. Well, that's what we had. And basically Kevin's job was just to follow Rogers around and so we had our own little ham cam. Rogers, did you enjoy the ham cam experience at the time? Like, what were your thoughts on it?
I could have done without it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like being a center of attention on stuff like that when we had a whole team on TV. So
right.
that wasn't exactly my funnest part.
Well, we did get some good moments out of it though, which is always good. It's always fun to watch Hambone. He is quite a character. Speaking of, so Friday we had no show obviously because LSU baseball was starting at 11 a.m. And so my show was preempted. So we decided to go out to walk-ons and hang out at walk-ons and watch some LSU baseball and eat a little lunch. And then I picked up my lunch and grabbed something to go for Mom and came on back to the house. I was there from probably about 11:30 till probably about 1:30. I was there for like 2 hours, and then needed to come on back home. Rogers, what went down after I left? Because I didn't really, I wasn't kind of checking in on y'all. I knew you would be there for a little while. How long did y'all end up staying? What ended up happening after I left at 1:30?
Well, there was just one. Every game was on TV, so we were just watching all the TVs and watching all the baseball. That's what we did all day.
Yeah. And how late did you stay?
I guess the Uber probably got us somewhere around 10. And by the time they dropped off Fletch and then dropped me off, it was almost 11.
Brother, that is a day, my friend. How was your Saturday then after that?
I just kicked back.
Yeah.
Didn't do a whole lot, to be honest with you.
Nothing.
That kind of wore me out.
I was about to say, like, did you leave the bed at any point in time on Saturday?
Oh, good God, yes. I'm not a lingerer.
Okay, but still kind of around the house. Not.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
After that long day, shoot.
Yeah. I mean, it's that was something.
'Cause, I mean, between standing up, sitting down, talking to people, shaking hands, moving tables, sitting down, just next thing you know, you're like, man, I've been here a long time.
Yeah, you have. You were there for a while. I mean, what, basically 12 hours?
But it helped that LSU was playing and then Arkansas was
Sure,
on. So
yeah,
it was next thing you know, it was 5 o'clock.
Yeah, if this was July during the All-Star break, you would not have been there for 12 hours. Like, there would have been
Oh,
nothing.
no.
Yeah.
No.
But you at least had something fun. Unfortunately for Arkansas, they got bounced by SEMO, and it was some of the top seeds just getting worked over, man. A lot of these regional hosts getting bounced early. It got kind of gross out there for some of the hosts. The 3 and 4 seeds were having a ton of success. But as the field stands now, you do have a representative number of I think 4 SEC teams are in right now, and then you've got a couple more that are playing for a chance to get in. You move now from the field of 64, and then you work it down. Now you're going to have your super regionals that will be played, and so again, it'd be kind of interesting. 16 teams, looks like maybe not quite half of them will be SEC teams, but yeah, some of the we've talked about it a lot all year long, that the SEC, most dominant baseball conference, talk that maybe they're the most dominant baseball conference for this season of all time, and yet Arkansas gets bounced. I believe South Carolina got bounced. Like it kind of got a little bloody there for some of what you would consider to be the upper echelon teams in the SEC. So yeah, a little bad. But again, there are a couple of teams still fighting and still pushing. We've got an entire day of baseball. Actually started, I think, about an hour ago now. So we are looking at potentially a maybe 5 or 6 SEC teams, I think, all told, may end up getting in, something like that. So a potential that, again, we'll see a really strong SEC presence once it comes to super regional play. But we'll break all that down, and we'll talk a little bit about what LSU has available to it. They've thrown a lot of arms, and obviously you're not going to have Jump or Holman likely coming back at any point. So it's going to be up to a lot of guys out of the bullpen. You had a couple of Herring and Hurd yesterday gave you some things that you really needed to have when it comes to trying to make your way out of the losers bracket, or should I say, the elimination bracket. Trying to make your way out of that is difficult, but it can be made easier if you can pick up some wins and some lengthy outings from guys out of the bullpen. That's what you absolutely have to have that. And they got that. Herring coming in relief for Ackenhausen, and then Hurd giving you a tremendous start in the second game. And you're at the point in regional play now where everybody's thrown their best arms. Once you usually get past your second starter, most teams don't really have a lot of quality starting depth after that. So you're piecemealing everything together. And, again, if you have a guy step up like Hurd, who has experience, he was in Omaha last year, pitched well in Omaha last year. You get something like that, a guy like that who will step in. Herring, again, we talked about the ability to work some innings that shortens what you have to have out of your bullpen, right? If Hurd yesterday in game 2 goes 2 innings and has to get yanked, now you're having to stretch out Uloa, and you're having to stretch out, you maybe have to bring Ackenhausen back in at some point. Guidry has to go longer, Lohr, like all these guys have to stretch out a little bit, and you don't have them available for today. Whereas today, if you need one out, there are a lot of guys, or let's say you maybe need an inning, there are a lot of guys on that LSU roster right now who have already pitched once, or who, maybe even twice, and could still turn around and come back and give you, an out or an inning or something like that. So, having that, having the ability to have a guy eat up innings and pitch well is massive. And with everyone being, everyone's already thrown, everything's been shown, the bats become a bigger commodity later as the regional play goes. And so that's why you're seeing LSU start to, double-digit runs in the first game against Wofford, 8 runs in the second game against Carolina. And wouldn't surprise me if we see another offensive explosion from LSU in the game today. By the way, that game today is at 5 o'clock. And I'm assuming, Rogers, correct, pregame show will be at 4:30. I'm assuming we're running that as well? Okay. So pregame show at 4:30. First pitch is at 5 for LSU and North Carolina. And so, no real surprise that we are going to see I would imagine a lot of arms throwing today for LSU. That's just my guess, unless, again, someone comes out and gives you 5-6 type of innings, then in which case you can now, save some arms and sort of piecemeal it. It feels a little bit like the third game in Omaha last year when LSU beat Florida in the championship series. And, at that point you're out of, your front 2 starters have gone, and it's a matter of, can you find a way to generate a bunch of offense, take some of the pressure off of your pitching staff. And I think that's probably what you see. I think LSU wins. I predicted they would win the regional. I did predict they were going to throw Ackenhausen in game 1, and they did not. And apparently, Rogers, I didn't know this. You told me this, actually. Todd Walker took issue with my Ackenhausen pitching game 1 thought process, which is fine. Look, he's forgotten more about baseball than I'll ever know. I just thought it would make sense to save jump for either moving into the regional final or potentially staving off elimination. We saw Ackenhausen against Wofford, which would have been the matchup in game 1, and I think he gave up 1 hard hit ball. Everything else was kind of generated offense, but you look up and they put 5 up in the first inning. So, maybe the matchup would have been poor. I don't know. And maybe you don't throw Ackenhausen, maybe throw Hurd in that scenario. I still think they should have pitched backwards, but look, hindsight's 20/20, and you find yourself in the finals now, and you're in the one game winner take all. So you got there. However you managed to get there, it's key that you made it, and you got to the point where now you win a game and you move on, and again host a super regional in Baton Rouge. Which, if I had told me, or if someone had told me a month ago, by the way, there's a reasonable chance that LSU hosts a super regional, I would have told you were nuts. But hey, let's just hope they get into the tournament to start with. That doesn't even look good as of a month ago. But Jay Johnson never had any he never wavered in terms of his faith that his team could get it done, and he had the pieces that he wanted. It was great to see Hayden Travinsky jump, knock out of a slump a little bit, had a hit and a home run. So, yeah, this is going to be it's going to be fascinating tonight. Going to be a lot of fun to watch. Expect a massive crowd. As big a crowd as Carolina has had probably in years. A lot of LSU fans are on hand. I don't know. The announcer said it was 50-50, but it didn't feel like that. Like watching games there, it didn't feel like it was a 50-50 crowd. But LSU fans, as they often do, travel well and had a good showing. So it's going to be a lot of fun tonight at 5 o'clock. But again, it does mean no JJ or Bonsai Ben tonight. They will be preempted as LSU will be taking on North Carolina in Game 7, the old proverbial Game 7. All right. A couple of ways that you can get in touch with the show. Call us on the Pearl Hotline, 318-725-5945. Text us on the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line, 318-6570-HAM, 657-0426. Also, make sure that you connect with us over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Netherton Show. That's youtube.com/@Netherton Show. Please make sure you subscribe. Tell your friends. Get them to subscribe. We got a lot of trying to get up to 500 subscribers. So help a brother out. Help us get there. All right, today's show: Major League Baseball, WNBA. We got to talk more about Caitlin Clark. It's a lot of reaction to that. Then we got a giveaway to talk about as well. We'll discuss that next. What are we giving away? We'll tell you about that next on the Patrick Netherton Show.
Healthy weight, more energy, and smooth, regular bowel movements. 3 things everyone strives for.
It's me, Chuck Norris. There's one really important thing we don't talk about enough: our health. Achy joints, digestive issues, weight gain, and fatigue. We're told these are normal signs of aging. So working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick is a revolutionary formula combining 10 different supplements in one. Probiotics that help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and several of the most powerful anti-aging supplements on earth. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, focused, and help manage stress.
Anybody can achieve great health regardless of their age.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com. Use code SUPPORT or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off today.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot, you can upgrade your home with up to $2,400 off select kitchen packages from top brands like Maytag. Enhance your kitchen with the exclusive Maytag French door refrigerator and fingerprint-resistant stainless steel, only at the Home Depot. And with dual power filtration on the Maytag Tall Tub dishwasher, you can skip soaking and scrubbing. Right now, get Memorial Day savings up to $2,400 off select kitchen packages at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid May 16th through June 5th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
anything you want with Bobby L. Green Plumbing, now offering heating and air conditioning too. The Green Team for the best plumbing, heating, air, get it all. One team, 3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Green, your home team, 6310235. We have it all.
You likely already know a few facts about the Pearl Restaurant located at Fern and 70th. Fact: amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. Fact: a 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. Fact: an unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. But what you may not know is the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and steaks. The steaks are certified Angus beef, which is dry-aged and then rubbed in their special pearl dust before being cooked to order. And those burgers? Well, they're ham bone approved, meaning Rogers Hampton gives them a thumbs up. And there is no higher honor that a burger could possibly have than a Rogers Hampton thumbs up. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off of East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch deal or an elegant dinner, the Pearl has you covered Wednesday through Sunday. Let them treat you right at the Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Welcome back to the Patrick Netherton Show.
Yeah. Yeah, Trey already commenting, Rush! Of course. We know Trey loves him some Rush. Hey, it's the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. He is Rogers Hampton back at the old 1130 The Tiger studios. I would be Patrick Netherton in my bed. We invite you to get in contact with us. You can call the show on the Pearl Restaurant hotline. That is 318-RALLY-45, 318-725-5945. Or you can reach us on the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line. That is 318-6570-HAM, 318-657-0426. Also, don't forget, we are available on the YouTube channel, pushing for 500 subscribers, so help us out. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. YouTube.com/@Netherton Show. That's YouTube.com/@Netherton Show. All right. It is, we do have a giveaway that I wanted to mention because I went and did a MC'd a crawfish boil for the LSU alumni folks and over at the market down on Norris Ferry. And they were kind enough to give me a little gift package, but it's all LSU alumni stuff. And I'm not an alum. I'm a Ouachita Baptist alum. So I asked for permission and was granted to be able to give away the items in my gift basket or my little gift bag. So I'm just going to tell you what they are. If you're watching on YouTube, you can actually see them. I will post a picture of all of the items. And we will start tomorrow giving some of these away. Probably will give a couple away a day, something like that. And it'll be easy. There won't be like a trivia question or anything. It'll just be text in that you would like an item, and we'll kind of draw sort of thing, or pick a number or whatever. Pick a number becomes easier because Rogers isn't in front of me, so if I ask Rogers to give me a number between 1 and 10, and he does, there's no collusion going on. But anyway, let me show you the items we got really quickly here. Again, if you're on the YouTube channel, you'll get to see these. If not, I'll try to describe them for you on the radio. We have a koozie that is, first up, it is LSU alumni, Shreveport Bossier and Friends, purple koozie, gold writing. On the back, it says Boo Bama with a little, the tiger eyes or whatever. So we've got a koozie. We've got a really nice purple and gold tie. Now, the tie itself is not it's not like it has an LSU logo on it or anything, but it is just sort of a crisscross pattern, purple and gold, and looks like white in there as well. It's a really very classy tie. It's not like one of those obnoxious ties that has a big tiger face or anything on it. Very classy tie, but purple and gold. With some white thrown in there as well. We also have some LSU sunglasses. They are purple and gold plastic sunglasses with LSU on the side of them. And then they're polarized lenses, which are my favorite. So I highly recommend polarized lenses. Knock the UV rays out. Honestly, if they weren't LSU, I would keep these myself, except they also don't fit my face. They're a little too small for my big head. So some LSU polarized sunglasses. They are yellow plastic with LSU on the side, kind of on the arms, if you will, of the sunglasses. And then we've got an LSU plastic cup. It's another LSU Alumni Association plastic cup, little small, kind of like like you would carry your, put a little whiskey in or something to drink when you're on the tailgate. LSU Alumni Association, little purple plastic cup. We've got an LSU fan. I keep saying LSU as if you don't know that these are all LSU things. We've got a little kind of fabric fan, if you will, ability to kind of cool yourself off. It also folds up into like a smaller thing, but for the life of me, I can't figure out how to fold it. I know it does fold into like a smaller entity, but for whatever reason, I can't figure it out. I think I might have just done it. I don't think that thing's... Oh, there it went. It came apart. I knew it would. But anyway, so we got a little fan, little LSU fan, if you will. That's good. Be good for hot days. And then the last thing we have is a big stack of styrofoam LSU alumni cups, white cups. They say LSU alumni, Shreveport Bossier on one side. Then the other side is a purple drawing of Tiger Stadium that says Go Tigers over the top of it. These are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 styrofoam cups in a nice little package, too. A little bow on it and everything. Really pretty. But anyway, so LSU styrofoam cups. So again, small plastic cup, 10 styrofoam cups, a fan, a pair of sunglasses, a koozie, and a really nice tie. Again, I will post all of these. I'm going to post a picture of them either this afternoon, this evening, or tomorrow, and we will give them all away. We'll do that starting tomorrow. So just wanted to let you know if you are an LSU alum and you would like some kind of an LSU item, then it is these are all available to you. We'll give them away. It'll be, again, just be a blind luck kind of thing. We're not gonna ask trivia questions or anything like that, but we will have a giveaway, and we'll probably just give like 2 of them away a day, something like that, to and hopefully enough people will respond and want them. So there you go. We'll do that. All right, let's talk about Caitlin Clark, because she is the lead story. Pat McAfee has already gotten himself into trouble, calling her the B word, but positively, if you will. Of course, he is an Indianapolis guy, an Indiana guy. So yeah, it's so there you go. It is a he basically called her a white B word, and obviously that is setting stuff off. So you don't know what we're talking about. If you didn't see, all of this is stemming from a controversy that happened over the weekend with Caitlin Clark playing against the Chicago Sky, and Kennedy Carter, a player who apparently went to, I believe she was a Baylor player, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, or maybe Houston. I don't know. I thought it was somewhere in Texas. Anyway, Kennedy Carter is a player for Chicago. Now she has a very let's just say rough track record. She's been released from a couple of teams for fighting with her own teammates, and some other various offenses. Apparently, just has some anger control issues. I don't know. She obviously has some issues to deal with. She just got picked up. She was actually playing like over in Europe or something. She just got picked back up, and she's playing for the Chicago Sky, which, by the way, is where Angel Reese is playing, former LSU Tiger, and it's where Camila Cardoso is playing, the former South Carolina big. So a very big team with Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso on the same squad. That's a big squad. Well, the action. Look, Caitlin Clark is absolutely a trash talker. All right, we all know that. She gets a little, I think, a little too much, talking to the refs, where she's looking for fouls, that kind of thing. But she was jaw-jacking with various players for for Chicago. They end up, this was a game at Indiana. I believe it was on Saturday. And she, they play down the floor. Aaliyah Boston, the big for Indiana, who was the first pick last year, she goes up for a layup, misses it. Goes up for a layup, misses it. Goes up for a layup, misses it. Ball comes loose. Kind of knocked around a little bit. Clark was not really in the mix, but Kennedy Carter was, and then Clark kind of comes in, sort of, mucks it up a little bit with her. The ball gets loose. It ends up going to an Indiana player. They end up laying it in. And then in the interim, Clark kind of throws an elbow at Carter. Nothing that was insane or super duper malicious, but clearly some physical play, which is fine. Nobody, I don't think anyone is complaining about just flat out physicality. All right. So next time down the floor, I think Chicago made a bucket, and Aaliyah Boston is getting ready to inbound to Clark. And while she's getting ready to inbound, Kennedy Carter comes up to her. You can see her very clearly say effing B, and then just basically hip checks her. Now, Clark kind of goes flying. She embellished a bit. There's no doubt about that. But it was 100% a dead ball foul. That it was a cheap shot. Now, it wasn't. She didn't punch her in the face. She didn't kick her in the head or anything. It wasn't the worst cheap shot that anyone's ever given, but it was absolutely a cheap shot. It was after no play was going on. It was not in the course of any action of any kind. Reese kind of threw Clark down a little bit, or at least kind of put the arm and elbow out there on her. And again, you can say that Clark flopped a little bit when she did, but nevertheless, that was at least during the course of a play. All right, no foul was called, by the way. So, fast forward, Kennedy Carter hip checks her, knocks her to the ground. The officials give her a foul away from the ball, or dead ball foul. No technical, no flagrant. And again, I don't know exactly what the WNBA has in terms of flagrant, intentional, technicals, all that kind of stuff. The rules in women's college basketball are different from the rules in men's college basketball. There's no intentional foul in men's college basketball, but there is in women's college basketball. So, nevertheless, basically hip checks her. Clark goes down. Official calls a common foul away from the ball. People start flying off the handle. All right. The suspender, kick her out of the league. this is racially motivated. Just some of the craziest things going off, discourse on the internet about this. No, what it simply was a player who has a history of struggling with anger management, struggling to kind of regulate her own emotions, who didn't like the fact that she was being chirped to and didn't like the fact that that Clark played her physical on the other end, so she went too far. So that becomes one issue. My major takeaway from that is that should have just been called a technical or a flagrant right then, right? Even if you have to go to the monitor and say, okay, this was excessive contact, not during the course of a play, or, this is clearly what a flagrant foul is meant to be, or a technical foul is meant to be. It was 100%, not in the heat of the moment. It was simply just, coming in and going after a player in a dead ball situation. Like, it is what the flagrant foul or the technical is designed for. In the NBA, they might have kicked her out of the game. If, you do something like that in the NBA. I mean, that was very Draymond Green-esque, right? But they didn't even assess a technical. So they go to the post-game press conference, and it's Camila Cardoso, and it is Kennedy Carter, and it is Teresa Weatherspoon, which, obviously everyone around here knows Teaspoon, former Louisiana Tech point guard. So basically they ask her, what happened. She basically gave it no comment. Someone said, did she talk to you before? Yes. Did you talk? No. What did she say to you? I don't know. I'm not talking about Caitlin Clark. And then Teresa Weatherspoon jumped in with, okay, that's enough. We're not going to take any Caitlin Clark questions, basically. They ended up fining Angel Reese for not showing up for her post-game media responsibility. They ended up fining the Sky $5,000 for not having their players or whatnot available for post-game media. And then that obviously blew things up even further. If she simply comes out in that post-game and says, look, I got frustrated, it was a heat of the moment thing, I'm sorry, let's move on, then we all might have talked about it, but we would have moved on. It would not have become a massive national discourse. It's on SportsCenter, it's on First Take, it's on Pat Mack. I mean, everything is talking about this Kennedy Carter, who, by the way, I couldn't have told you existed until this incident happened, right? And it's brought a lot of discourse about the WNBA players sort of killing their cash cow, right? Like it's hey, Clark's getting you eyeballs. By the way, the Fever have already eclipsed their entire attendance from last season, and they've played, I think, 3 home games, and they have had more people in 3 games this year than they did in 20 games last year. The ratings on every network that the WNBA is on are record-setting for the WNBA. They are getting ratings that they have never seen in the history of the WNBA. And you can say it's for, you can say it's for Angel Reese, you can say it's for Cameron Brink, but it is absolutely for Caitlin Clark. Like, that is who people are tuning in to watch. Her games are sold out. Her games are hugely followed and watched. All right, so the discourse that you're killing your cash cow is, to me, it's kind of crazy, right? Like, they should play her physically. They should double team her. They should pick her up at three-quarter court. They should not let her take shots, although the last couple of games, she's missed a lot of wide open threes. She's made contested ones, but she's missed a lot of ones that were wide open. And by the way, she just had her worst game as a pro on back-to-backs against the Liberty. She was not good, and I think 1 for 10 from the field, something like that. But this discourse that you shouldn't be allowed to be physical or play defense on her or just, in any way do anything to her, that's silly, right? She understands that. She knows better than anyone. The game is physical, And I'll be honest with you, it's more physical in the WNBA than it is in the NBA because they don't call the game the same in the WNBA. They allow it to be more physical in the WNBA. Someone said that the WNBA is basically on about a 2 to 3 decade, they're kind of 2 to 3 decades behind the NBA's development in terms of style of play and physicality and officiating and all of that. Because, by the way, they started, 60 years after the NBA ever started. And that's actually kind of, this does feel a little bit like it's the 90s NBA. It's rough and tumble, a lot of bigs that are physical and getting after it. Bill Laimbeer, not afraid to knock someone into next week. Rick Mahorn, it feels a little bit like that generation of basketball. And again, that's not in and of itself bad. You don't need to coddle Caitlin Clark. You shouldn't treat her with kid gloves. But if you're the league, one thing you do have to do is protect her when it's dead ball situations. All right. And just like I would hope you would protect anyone in your league when it's a dead ball situation. It's again, this is not, ball's not live. We're not in action. And girl comes over and hip checks Clark. And again, she flopped a little bit, kind of took the fall. But that's got to be a technical. That's got to be a flagrant or an intentional or whatever. It doesn't need to be a suspension. She didn't punch her in the face. She didn't kick her in the head. She didn't do things that were super malicious. She just hip checked her, called her a name, hip checked her. I don't even care about the talking. Anybody that's listened to my show for a while knows I don't like trash talking. It's not part of, I don't enjoy it. I don't do it myself, like when I'm playing pickup or stuff. I don't enjoy it when other people do it. I would prefer everyone win classy and just be classy at all times. I know that doesn't happen, but trash talking in and of itself is not bothersome to me. Clark's trash talking them, they're trash talking her, whatever. They're all big girls. They can all take it. Where it crosses the line is when you move into cheap shots, when you move into dead ball fouls, that sort of thing. And that needs to be heavily legislated in the WNBA. Because, look, there are plenty of players out there, and Kennedy Carter is clearly one of them, that wants to make a statement when it comes to Caitlin Clark, right? You're a rookie. We're going to treat you like a rookie. We're going to rough you up. We're going to make it tough on you. All fine. You cannot have that happen out of the bounds of normal play. If you knock her down, whatever, that's one thing. Maybe it's a flagrant in the course of play. But if something happens away from the play, if something happens in a dead ball situation, and by the way, Angel Reese didn't exactly do anything good for herself, because once Carter came up and gave Clark the hip check and knocked her down, Angel Reese is immediately up off the bench and clapping for Carter knocking Caitlin Clark down. And Ernie brings up a great point, and that's another thing that I was going to is, where are her teammates? Right? Where is someone to come in? And I don't know, maybe they all hate her. I don't know. I don't know what the bound. I don't know what the interpersonal relationships are within the Indiana Fever. Maybe they all hate Caitlin Clark for all I know. I have no idea. But no one, she's getting roughed up, she's getting knocked down, all that stuff, and no one is rising to her defense on her own team. Right? That's one of those scenarios where your quote-unquote enforcer, or, most teams have one, needs to go in there and take a fine, take a suspension, whatever, to make the statement that, hey, this is not acceptable. We're not going to allow our superstar to get banged around. That's how it works, right? I mean, the Bad Boys did it, the Celtics did it, the Pistons did it, the Bulls did it, right? Like, this was not acceptable behavior, and if something happened, then you knew someone was going to. It's like throwing at a guy after he pimps a home run, or or throwing at a guy because the other guy threw at your guy. Like there's some sort of unwritten rule there that you need to stick up for your teammate, and no one did, and that's concerning. That makes you also wonder, hey, what's going on within the team dynamic of the Indiana Fever, that they're not standing up for each other. And I don't know. They did get the win, by the way. They ended up beating the Sky. Clark had a terrific game, and basically Kennedy Carter came back out and said, and though she wouldn't speak at a press conference, she did talk a lot on Twitter and on social media, and basically said Caitlin Clark can't do anything but shoot threes. And everyone's like, yeah, you realize she actually is out rebounding you and has like fourth in the NBA, WNBA in assists. Like, come on, like, let's not be dumb. She does a lot more than just shoot threes. She even had a post up in the game against the Sky late, and kind of worked back to defender end and shot up over and scored a bucket. But again, for me, it's your teammates need to come to your defense, and it is the league needs to make sure that it is not allowing this sort of dead ball, cheap shot, physical play. It's one thing if she's getting doubled. It's one thing if she's getting run off screens. And by the way, she got ran off a screen by Breanna Stewart. Did her teammate yell that the screen was coming? Like, I don't know what's going on with that team. It seems very strange. It's a weird dynamic. But the league needs to protect its players from cheap shots. And right now, the one receiving all the cheap shots is Caitlin Clark. So the league needs to find a way to do a better job of policing that. They came back after the fact and gave Carter a technical, but there was, there was not like there was any sort of repercussions other than if she gets a few more, she'll have to sit a game. So yeah, a very bizarre circumstance happening in the WNBA, and a lot of really terrible discourse going on about the league as well, because there are a lot of Johnny-come-latelys. I'm one of them. New kid in town, right? Like, I'm a new kid in town when it comes to the WNBA. It's not like I've been paying a ton of attention to it. But I've also watched enough sports and called enough sports to understand sort of the dynamics that are at play. And the dynamics that are at play are they are trying to show Clark, she's a rookie. Hey, we're going to go and show you, give you the business and make sure you understand this is going to be a tough one. Clark, other than the fact that she said, hey, I've had some real physical play out there, she's not really complained about it other than, when it happens to the officials. But she's not gone into press conferences and whined and cried about woe is me or any of that stuff. She's been pretty stand up about it. It just seems like there are a lot of other people that are treating it like a petulant child. So, the WNBA needs to find a way to police itself a little bit better. Officials need to be more willing to come in and call flagrants or tease or whatever on plays that are very clearly flagrant or technicals that are dead ball, away from the ball type of thing. Stuff that happens in, short of punching someone or kicking someone or whatever in the course of action, physical play, knock somebody down, whatever, that happens. Call the foul, move on. But dead balls, you got to clean that up if you're the WNBA. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Our show brought to you by the fine folks at the Pearl Restaurant and Bobby L. Green Plumbing. We appreciate them for their terrific support. We'd love to hear from you on the Pearl Restaurant hotline, Rally 45 725 5945, or the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line at 6570-HAM, 657-0426. We will take a break, come back. We'll talk a little Major League Baseball. Obviously, we got college baseball on the brain. We can talk a little Chapel Hill Regional. And whatever else is on your mind, we'd love to hear from you. YouTube.com/@Netherton Show as well if you want to watch. We'll be back.
Nothing left to burn and nothing left to prove. And I remember what she said to me.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
We could try to explain what it feels like to get your work done on a John Deere. The way a Z-Track mower finishes in half the time you thought it would. Or how much easier it is to move mountains of soil with the 1 Series tractor. We could even go into detail about how it feels to tow up to 4,000 pounds behind a Gator XUV. But if you really want to know what it's like to run with us, you just have to get in the seat. Learn more at johndeere.com/get-in-the-seat or visit a dealer near you.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day. Veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend, made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend, plus receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like rowing upstream. But it's a river, a whitewater river, and the only paddles you have are pool noodles. Then when a new to-do pops up, you're like, nope, I'm already rowing upstream with these pool noodle paddles. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to get personalized discounts with a commercial auto insurance quote online, so your to-do list is smooth sailing. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverages and discounts not available in all states and subject to policy terms and underwriting.
You likely already know a few facts about the Pearl Restaurant located at Fern and 70th. Fact: amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. Fact: a 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. Fact: an unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. But what you may not know is the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and steaks. The steaks are certified Angus beef, which is dry-aged and then rubbed in their special Pearl dust before being cooked to order. And those burgers? Well, they're ham bone approved, meaning Rogers Hampton gives them a thumbs up. And there is no higher honor that a burger could possibly have than a Rogers Hampton thumbs up. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off of East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch deal or an elegant dinner, the Pearl has you covered Wednesday through Sunday. Let them treat you right at the Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue.
Get down to business. Tell everyone nothing's off limits. You can have anything you want.
Anything you want with Bobby L. Green Plumbing, now offering heating and air conditioning too. The Green Team for the best plumbing, heating, air. Get it all. One team, 3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Green, your home team, 6310235. We have it all.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
KWKH and K277DO Shreveport, 103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger. Bossier City's home for LSU Sports, a Town Square Media station.
Welcome back to the Patrick Netherton Show.
Little
Netherton Show, 11:30 The Tiger, Rogers and Patrick. That's us. Welcome you back as we get into some texts on the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line. Again, 318-6570-HAM, 318-657-0426. If you would like to take part in the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line, or of course you can find us over on the phone line if you want to actually call in and have your voice heard. Then you can call us on the Pearl Restaurant Hotline. That is 318-RALLY-45, 318-725-5945. Let's get some texts on the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line. Cocky said, I'd love to be considered for the sunglasses, and then sent in a picture of his bachelor's degree from LSU. Look, you don't have to be an alum to get any of this gear. There's no requirement. You can just be an LSU fan, or, as far as I'm concerned, you can be an LSU hater if you want. I'd appreciate it if you were a fan, and actually wanted to use the stuff or have the stuff for a good reason. But even if you're not, hey, so be it. It's going to be a random drawing for the items. I'll probably do one at a time. And, we'll ask for everyone who wants to be a part of, each individual item, and then we'll give it away and go from there. So, yeah, we'll do that in the next couple of days, though. Ernie on the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line said, I would like an item. Yeah, don't worry. We'll give everyone an opportunity. Just make sure that you're listening to the show starting tomorrow. We will. I just told everyone to stop listening to the show today. Hey, don't listen to the show today. Start tomorrow. But Ernie says it's crazy how our teammates don't come to her defense on the court. Yeah, I don't understand that either, to be honest with you. I'm not saying you need to go out there and punch somebody or, get suspended or something, but at least have her back, right? At least get up in somebody's face about it and tell them and make them understand that it's unacceptable that you're going to come after our superstar, right? And it's kind of weird that none of her teammates seem to be doing that when these things happen. Again, I don't know the interpersonal workings or the inside the locker room workings of the Indiana Fever, but it certainly feels like there's something going on there. Double J said it wasn't Kermit Washington on Rudy T. Yeah, agreed. That's what I said. It's not, it's not a punch to the face. It's not a kick in the head. It's it wasn't anything that was super egregious, but it certainly deserved a technical or a flagrant in the moment. But it didn't get that. Like, it definitely deserved to be upgraded past simply a common foul that happened away from the basket or in a like, it deserved to be a technical or a flagrant, whatever language you want. That definitely deserved at least that. I'm not saying I don't agree that she should be suspended. I don't think she should be fined. Like, I don't have a problem with any of the other stuff. But you do in the moment, the officials need to be better, right? It shouldn't be the league comes back a day later after a ton of pressure and says, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and assess her a technical foul after the fact. Like, that shouldn't have to happen. The officials should be making that call immediately. Boom, here's a technical, shoot a free throws, however many, whatever you get in the WNBA, and then we move on. So that she knows, hey, she's been, she's been punished. And if she does it again and gets another technical, well, she's thrown out of the game, and you get enough technicals and eventually you're suspended for a game. So yeah, at least dole that punishment out at the time. I solely blame the refs for that scenario. If that happens and they give her a T, even toss her out, I wouldn't have agreed with that, but I could have maybe seen that. But you give her a T or a flagrant or whatever, Caitlin Clark gets free throws and you move on. Then I don't know that this is as big a story, but it's the fact that it was the shove, and then, the hip check, and then it was the no technical or flagrant. And then it was, Kennedy Carter comes to the post game and says, I'm not answering any questions about that. It was everything. All of that. has to, all of that sort of snowballs into becoming the story that it is now. And that's when it becomes a problem. If the officials had handled their business in the moment, gave her a technical, ejected her, which again, would not have necessarily been a fan of or thought was appropriate, but something above and beyond the common foul, then I think there's less discourse about it. But it became a big deal because the league, didn't enforce the rules and didn't do anything to sort of stem that tide of what was very clearly a dirty play. Chuck said, I heard the Indiana Fever are looking to sign Tanya Harding as a shooting coach. Well, no, you really want Jeff Gillooly and whatever the other guy was. Those are the guys you really want as your shooting coaches. He also said Caitlin Clark needs a Kurt Rambis, excuse me. Yeah. Again, I do wonder, it's not like you need somebody to go out there and punch somebody or, but somebody's got to get up in Kennedy Carter's face from the Fever and make her understand that, yeah, that's not acceptable. Instead, Aaliyah Boston just sort of stood there and then went over and helped Clark up off the floor. There's got to be some enforcement method that is being used by your teammates. And it doesn't have to be super physical. It can just simply be get in someone's face and say, look, we're not doing this again. Maybe some pushing and shoving, that kind of thing. Doesn't need to be punches thrown or a fight or whatever. What I liken it to a little bit is Shaq. You may remember when he was in college, Shaq was there was a lot of, and even in the NBA, early on in the NBA, there was a lot of guys intentionally fouling him, but intentionally fouling him to put him on the free throw line, which is fine, because he wasn't a very good free throw shooter, but they would still intentionally foul him very physically, right? And in such a way, you may remember, I think it was Tennessee when he kind of went off and basically swung on a guy, and then there were a couple of incidences when he got in the NBA, right? It's the same kind of thing. Like, it's fine to want to show the rookie that, hey, this league is tougher and physical, more physical than you are and where you were and all that stuff. That's fine. But when it goes from being physical in the act of the game to becoming cheap shots and going over the line, that's when we have the problem. Let's see. Double J said, anyone who did not graduate from the Harvard on the Mississippi and gets an item needs to know they'll be publicly shamed for stolen valor. Okay, when you first texted it, I had to take a second to parse through that. So basically, Double J is saying, if you're not an LSU alumni, an LSU alum, and you get an item, that you should be publicly shamed for sort of claiming that you're an LSU alum. But I will say this. There are a couple of items that are LSU alumni and friends. The sunglasses are just simply say LSU. There's not an alumni on them at all. So it could simply be you're just a fan of the squad. And then the tie has no LSU markings on it whatsoever. Like, you wouldn't even know it was an LSU tie. Other than the fact that it's kind of got some purple and gold in it. And if you look on the back, it very clearly says officially licensed plaid of LSU. So the LSU plaid, LSU tartan. Other than that, you would literally have no idea that this thing was LSU related, other than it's kind of a muted purple and gold with some white in there. But yeah, everything else says LSU alumni. So yeah, if you're not an LSU alum and whatever, I'm not going to shame you. Maybe Double J will, but I won't shame you. Especially because, it's cool to be able to give some stuff away, when given the opportunity. It's nice to be able to do that. Chase over on the YouTube channel. And again, if you would like to subscribe, you can, youtube.com/@Netherton show. Chase said jealousy is an ugly thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is some jealousy of Clark. There's probably a lot of, hey, we're getting a lot of attention that we probably deserved years ago. Like, why is it happening simply because of this girl? But in reality, if I would say it feels like 98% of the players in the league welcome it, right? Like, hey, they all understand that this is going to positively affect everyone's bottom line, right? Ratings are up, which means the next time you renegotiate your television deals, there's going to be more money to be made. This is going to raise the profile of all the players within the league. That, more people, like no one, raise your hand if you knew who Kennedy Carter was before this weekend. Right now, you don't necessarily want to have the negative publicity be the reason why you're known. You're cheap-shotting someone, and that's the reason why you're known. But you certainly had not heard of her before this incident with Caitlin Clark, right? And so I believe in my heart of hearts, I don't know this, but I believe that the vast majority of WNBA players appreciate the fact that Caitlin Clark coming into the league is going to increase eyeballs, increase revenue, likely lead to better pay for everyone in the league. This is all going to be a net positive for the WNBA. At the same time, they want to make sure that she knows she's not going to have an easy road. They're not going to let her shoot threes. They're not going to let her bring the ball up the floor unmolested. They're not going to allow her to get to her spots just, however she wants to, nor should they. Like, this is the thing that I think is getting lost in the kind of the ether or the discourse is, I hope no one is suggesting that they should take it easy on her on the floor during the course of play. I hope not, right? Like, it's one thing to not cheap shot someone. It's another thing to not play defense on someone. And I hope no one is suggesting that you don't defend her or you don't try your best to not let her beat you. I hope no one's saying that. But at the same time, you also can't kill her. Right? You can't cheap shot her to death and she turns around and goes, well, hell, I'm going to go to the big three. And, the women's big three league that's being out there is going to offer a bunch of money. And, oh, what happens to the WNBA? Well, a lot of your notoriety just disappears. So yeah, take advantage of the golden goose when the golden goose shows up. Rogers, which girl was it in Willy Wonka with the golden goose? Was that Veruca Salt?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So don't Veruca Salt the golden goose, Rogers. Don't get mad that the golden goose shows up and want to keep it all for yourself. Let her raise the league a little bit. And then now you make your way into a higher, better tax bracket, a higher demographic, a better television deal, and all the money starts coming in. And the league becomes solvent, and you have expansion happening. T-Bone said you haven't mentioned the racial component to all this, which I think is disingenuous. I don't think there's a racial component to it. I really don't. There was a video that came out of Candace Parker's first year in the league back, 10, 15 years ago, however long it was that Candace Parker was out there. I don't believe that the black players in the WNBA hate her because she's white. I just think there are certain players that don't like her, period. Now, maybe there is a racial component to that, but I don't believe this is some sort of a widespread racist thing that's going on. When Candace Parker came into the league, who, by the way, is not white, Candace Parker came into the league, and one girl just beat the hell out of her. Like, literally knocked her to the ground and, jumped on her. I mean, it was a whole brawl that went on. All right? And Candace Parker, not white. I don't think that there may be somewhere a racial component to it, but I don't believe that is the prevailing issue. I think the prevailing issue is they don't like a newcomer coming in and thinking, they want to put her in her place. I don't think it's a matter of they want to put the white girl in her place. I think it is they want to put her in her place because she comes in with one, she comes in with she's one of one when she comes in the league. She is single-handedly, and you can say what you want about Angel Reese and Cameron Brink and Camila Cardoso, but if Caitlin Clark is not in that draft class, we don't know as much about them, and we are not as locked into the WNBA as we are because Caitlin Clark is in the draft class. Okay, so yes, there could be racial components to it. I just don't think it is. Like, if you've got a white girl that can play, she's going to be welcomed in the WNBA. If you got a black girl that can play, Asian, whatever, they're going to be welcomed with open arms. Sport is one of the most, I would say, colorless things that you have. Can you play? Then fine. Maybe, white chocolate Jason Williams is an anomaly because we're not used to seeing a white guy doing the kind of things he does. But you know what? He's accepted because the kid can play, right? That's all anybody wants. If you can step on the field, on the floor, on the court, whatever, and you can ball, that's all anybody cares about. Doesn't matter what you look like. 300-pound dudes that can get after it, great. Tall, skinny dudes that can get after it, great. Black guys, white guys, black girls, white girls, doesn't matter, man. If you can play, people are going to be fine with it. The issue for me, for Caitlin Clark, and I could be wrong, but this is my opinion, I don't think it's a race thing. I think it is absolutely a hype for a rookie who, quote unquote, hasn't proven herself in the WNBA as a professional. And so the vets, and especially one like Kennedy Carter, who, by the way, has a history of having some issues, fighting her own teammates, getting kicked off of teams because she fights her own teammates, all of that stuff, right? She just happened to be the one. Clark's trash-talking her. They're being physical with each other, and she just decided she was going to show her a lesson. So she went and hip-checked her, knocked her down. I don't believe, again, I could be wrong. I don't believe that it was a race thing. I think it was, who does this rookie think she is coming in here, all the hype. I'm going to show you what the WNBA is really all about. And I think that everybody who guards Caitlin Clark, until she gets through her rookie year, or until she gets through a couple of times through the league, I think all of them are going to have that same philosophy. Like, who does this kid think she is? She's talking to me. She's, the histrionics. She's talking to the refs, all of that stuff. Well, we're going to show her what life is like in the WNBA. And so they're going to play her overtly physical. So while there may be a racial component for certain people, and there may be a racial component within the fan base, or within just people who are watching in general. Personally, I don't think it has anything to do with it. I don't think it's because she's white. I think if she was as hyped as she was and she was a black girl, I think they'd be treating her the exact same way. It's a rook who's coming in, and we're going to show this girl what the WNBA is all about. So we're going to be physical. We're going to, show her the ropes, all of that stuff. She's going to learn that she's not going to come in here and have a free pass simply because she was the best player in college and she got all the hype and all of that. And so I think after her sort of rookie hazing period, if you will, which is what she's going through now, I think you'll eventually see, everything kind of settle in. They're still going to play physical on her. They're still going to guard her really tight. She'll understand how to work around that and play off of the ball to get open and get shots and all that stuff. She'll understand when to drive and go do that. That'll all happen. But for right now, she's in her rookie period, and she came in with more hype than any rookie's ever come in with to the WNBA. So the vets are going to show her place. That's what's going on. I don't think it has anything to do with race, at least in this instance. Fan base may be different. All right, let's take a break. It is the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. Call us on the Pearl Restaurant hotline, 318-RALLY-45, 725-5945. Text us on the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line, 318-657-0HAM, 657-0426. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Netherton Show. We'll be back.
biggest party of the summer is back. The 9th annual Johnny's Pizza House GeekedCon, August 16th through 18th at Shreveport Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at geekedcon.com. Starring the Candyman himself, horror movie icon Tony Todd.
My victim.
The voice of Halo's Master Chief, Steve Downs.
This is Spartan 117.
Scrubs star John C. McGinley.
Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong.
And award-winning actor Billy Zane. Also appearing David Morrissey, the governor from The Walking Dead, Henry Thomas and Dee Wallace from the legendary film E.T., and Brett Iwan, the voice of Mickey Mouse. This year's GeekCon will also feature the Shreveport Sports Card Expo, featuring Mr. Cowboy, NFL Hall of Famer Bob Lilly, LSU National Champion Jacob Hester, and Todd Walker, plus Texas Rangers legend Rafael Palmeiro. 3 days, 2 events, 1 ticket. Get yours now at geekcon.com.
You likely already know a few facts about the Pearl Restaurant located at Fern and 70th. Fact: amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. Fact: a 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. Fact: an unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. But what you may not know is the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and steaks. The steaks are certified Angus beef, which is dry-aged and then rubbed in their special pearl dust before being cooked to order. And those burgers? Well, they're ham bone approved, meaning Rogers Hampton gives them a thumbs up. And there is no higher honor that a burger could possibly have than a Rogers Hampton thumbs up. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off of East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch deal or an elegant dinner, the Pearl has you covered Wednesday through Sunday. Let them treat you right at the Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue.
Get down to business. Tell everyone nothing's off limits. You can have anything you want.
Anything you want with Bobby L. Green Plumbing, now offering heating and air conditioning too. The Green Team for the best plumbing, heating, air. Get it all. One team, 3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Green, your home team, 6310235. We have it all.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
A healthy weight, more energy, and smooth, regular bowel movements. 3 things everyone strives for.
It's me, Chuck Norris. There's one really important thing we don't talk about enough: our health. Achy joints, digestive issues, weight gain, and fatigue. We're told these are normal signs of aging. So working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick is a revolutionary formula combining 10 different supplements in one. Probiotics that help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and several of the most powerful anti-aging supplements on earth. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, focused, and help manage stress.
Anybody can achieve great health regardless of their age.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com. Use code SUPPORT or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off today.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns, and here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Home Depot has Memorial Day savings up to $500 off select laundry appliances from top brands like Samsung. Wash and dry in one cycle with the Samsung Ultra Capacity All-in-One Washer-Dryer Combo from the Home Depot. Then, enjoy your summer while your laundry takes care of itself. Right now, get Memorial Day savings up to $500 off select laundry appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid May 16th through June 5th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
It's time for the main course with Rogers Hampton. Here's your host, Patrick Netherton.
But hey, when you ain't got enough dough to pay the rent, that's bad times.
Flat broke, but I don't care. I strut right by with my tail in the air. Straight cat strut, I'm a feeling Casanova. Hey, man, that's that. Get a shoe thrown at me from a mean old man. Get my dinner from a garbage can.
Patrick Netherton Show, 11:30, The Tiger. What's up, everybody? Said where, right? By the way, Rogers, we do have a pretty large upset in the first game. The first game 7 today. The Evansville Purple Aces have come out of the East Carolina bracket. The Purple Aces taking the win against ECU, the host team, the 16 seed East Carolina. Evansville advancing to its first ever super regional, getting a 6-5 win over East Carolina. And with that, the ECU bracket, the Greensville bracket regional is done. And Evansville is advancing. So just craziness going on. Evansville advancing out of the East Carolina bracket. And that's pretty amazing. Pretty wild. So with that, we've got one more team that has moved into super regional play. I wanted to pull up a bracket real quick and just check out the NCAA Baseball Tournament 2024. Yeah, so now a group of super regionals that are yet to be determined, and should be a lot of fun. Now that we've had some teams advance and move on, now we are looking at some game 7s that are getting set to happen. And we mentioned Evansville taking game 7 in the Greenville regional, so they will move on. You've got Oregon State and UC Irvine. The suspended Game 6 will take place today, started about 30 minutes ago, and then the if necessary game, Game 7, would happen basically an hour after that one. Oregon coming out of the Santa Barbara regional, so they come out of that one. West Virginia coming out of the Tucson regional. They're the ones that are matched up with LSU. Virginia coming out of their own regional in Charlottesville. You've got Game 7, Oklahoma State and Florida in the Stillwater regional. That will be at 3 o'clock today on ESPNU. NC State advancing out of its own regional, taking down James Madison. You've got UConn and Oklahoma playing in potentially Game 7 with Oklahoma. No, excuse me. There will be a Game 7. That will be the night game tonight. UConn and Oklahoma. That'll be at 9 p.m. Florida State advancing out of the Tallahassee regional. You had Georgia in 10 innings taking down Georgia Tech to advance out of their regional. Clemson advances out of its regional. Kansas State comes out of the Fayetteville regional as Arkansas was eliminated by Southeast Missouri, and then Kansas State, the winner, took care of business against Southeast Missouri. As we mentioned, North Carolina LSU will be tonight at 5 o'clock on ESPN2. A&M, after ULL had a nice little run, got beat by Texas, then turned around and eliminated Grambling. A&M beat Texas, then ULL turned around and just smoked Texas, took out the Longhorns. The Cajuns advanced, and then ultimately A&M really controlled that game from the jump. A&M coming out of the Bryan College Station regional. Kentucky wins its region in Lexington. Tennessee takes care of business in its region. Tennessee looks really sharp right now. Beat Northern Kentucky 9-3, beat Indiana 12-6, beat Southern Miss 12-3. to win their region. So the way that things stack up right now, you've got you got Tennessee and Evansville that will face each other. That will be in Knoxville, of course. Florida State awaits the winner of Oklahoma and Yukon. You've got Virginia and Kansas State facing each other. That will be in Charlottesville at Virginia. You've got West Virginia awaiting the winner of UNC and LSU. And again, as far as I know, as far as I can tell, the winner of North Carolina LSU will be the host for the Super Regional. So West Virginia will travel to either Chapel Hill or Baton Rouge to play in the Super Regional next week. You've got Texas A&M taking on Oregon. As Oregon came out of the Santa Barbara Regional, A&M will be the host team, Super Regional in Aggie Land with all the bubbles. You've got Clemson waiting on the winner of Oklahoma State and Florida. Georgia is taking on NC State. I'm not sure where that game will be. Have not seen as of yet. And then Kentucky awaits the winner of Oregon State and UC Irvine. So Tennessee, Evansville, Florida State, and winner of Yukon, Oklahoma, Virginia and Kansas State. West Virginia awaits the winner of North Carolina, LSU. Texas and Oregon. Clemson awaits either Oklahoma State or Florida. Georgia and NC State play each other, and then Kentucky taking on either Oregon State or UC Irvine. So a lot of fun. Baseball is so much fun, man. I love this time of year. It is an absolute blast. Again, you've got Evansville pulling the upset and going to its first ever Super Regional. That's really cool. Really awesome to have that happen. So, yeah, a lot of fun. And again, we've got a lot of stuff going on. Oregon State and UC Irvine will, if they have to have a game 7, it will be tonight at 5 o'clock. You've got Oklahoma State and Florida today at 2. You've got Yukon and Oklahoma tonight at 8. And North Carolina LSU at 5. So a lot of fun stuff going on. And I just love this time of year. Chuck said it should be Georgia. They're the 7 seed. NC State's the 10. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't zoom in on my bracket here to see what their seeding was. But yeah, Georgia's the 7 and NC State's the 10. So, gonna be a lot of fun. LSU, obviously, the real question is kind of what do you do pitching wise? You've still got a few guys that are available, and you got a lot of arms that are available to come back if necessary. Certainly feels like it's one of those scenarios where you may see you may have to see someone come in and again, just like yesterday, right? You had 2 different guys that came in and gave you massive innings. And, Thatcher Hurd gets the start in the second game and really gets you what you need. I think he ended up going about 5 or 6. I don't remember the exact number. You had, after Ackenhausen started in the first game and struggled, you had Herring come in and really shut the door and give you 4 or 5 shutout innings or good innings. And, that allowed the bats to wake up against the bullpen of Wofford, and that was that. Again, that's what you have to have happen if you are going to find a way to win some of these elimination games, especially as you get farther and farther, or I should say further and further into the regional, right? Your pitching becomes an issue. Everybody's pitching is an issue. You've thrown a bunch of arms, especially if you're coming out of the consolation or the elimination bracket. You've got to play one more game than the team in the winners bracket. And so now, everybody has shot their arms, and now it's time to really see the bats really start to pick up at the end of regional play. That's usually what happens. So that'll be at 5 o'clock tonight, LSU and North Carolina. All right. Don't forget, we're giving away some LSU alumni materials, sunglasses, koozie, little fabric fan, really nice tie, some styrofoam cups, a plastic cup. We got a whole bunch of stuff to give away that we'll start doing tomorrow, and I'll post a picture of all of the stuff either tonight or tomorrow, and remind you that all of this stuff will be available to you. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and wrap this bad boy up as we are rocking and rolling on a Monday. Would love to hear from you on the Pearl Restaurant Hotline, 318-RALLY-45, 725-5945. Or if you want to call or text on the Bobby L. Green Plumbing text line, 318-6570-HAM, 318-657-0426. We'll take a break. It's a Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, and over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Netherton Show.
Party of the summer is back. The 9th annual Johnny's Pizza House GeekedCon, August 16th through 18th at Shreveport Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at geekedcon.com. Starring the Candyman himself, horror movie icon Tony Todd.
My victim.
The voice of Halo's Master Chief, Steve Downs.
This is Spartan 117.
Scrub star John C. McGinley.
Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong.
And award-winning actor Billy Zane. Also appearing David Morrissey, the governor from The Walking Dead, Henry Thomas and Dee Wallace from the legendary film E.T., and Brett Iwan, the voice of Mickey Mouse. This year's GeekedCon will also feature the Shreveport Sports Card Expo, featuring Mr. Cowboy, NFL Hall of Famer Bob Lilly, LSU National Champion Jacob Hester, and Todd Walker, plus Texas Rangers legend Rafael Palmeiro. 3 days, 2 events, 1 ticket. Get yours now at geekcon.com.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, messy poops, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day.
Cody was sleeping a lot, wasn't playing.
She was very lethargic and not moving around.
Dry kibble just wasn't cutting it.
That's why, after more than 45 years of experience of helping dogs make complete health turnarounds, veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend. It's a freeze-dried raw dog food made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. And once dog parents switch their pups to Nature's Blend, the results can be astounding.
She's got her energy back. She's running around like she did like 5 years ago.
Miraculously, she's just feeling all around better. She's like a new dog. Thank you, Dr. Marty.
Get your dog started today and save up to 54% off Nature's Blend. Plus, receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Anything you want with Bobby L. Green Plumbing, now offering heating and air conditioning too. The Green Team for the best plumbing, heating, air, get it all. One team, 3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Green, your home team, 6310235. We have it all.
You likely already know a few facts about the Pearl Restaurant located at Fern and 70th. Fact: amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. Fact: a 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. Fact: an unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. But what you may not know is the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and steaks. The steaks are certified Angus beef, which is dry-aged and then rubbed in their special Pearl dust before being cooked to order. And those burgers? Well, they're ham bone approved, meaning Rogers Hampton gives them a thumbs up. And there is no higher honor that a burger could possibly have than a Rogers Hampton thumbs up. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off of East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch deal or an elegant dinner, the Pearl has you covered Wednesday through Sunday. Let them treat you right at the Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Tiger weather now.
Slight chance for a shower or storm here tonight. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies. Patchy late night fog, 74. Clouds and fog Monday morning. Sunshine mixing in through the afternoon with a stray afternoon or evening storm possible. Highs Monday in the upper part of the 80s. Mix of clouds and sun. Breezy and hot on Tuesday. Low 90s. Chance for late day storms Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The previous program was paid for by Tim Fletcher. KWKH and K277DO Shreveport, 103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger. Bossier City's home for LSU sports, a Town Square media station.
Floating through the airwaves like smooth hickory smoke. Patrick Netherton.
Apologies there. Took a little longer to get back to live action. Sorry about that. Was dealing with a little something here at the house. But we're back. We're ready to wrap things up here on our show as LSU gets set to go at 5 o'clock this evening in Game 7 against North Carolina. Should be very interesting, right? This is a team that, you know, feels like they've gotten hot at the right time. They're peaking at the right time, and it feels like they're going to find a way. It feels like they're going to find a way to do it. You know, you're not going to have Jumper Holman. You know, Herring's definitely not going to be able to throw. You probably would not see the guys that I look at that I think, okay, could give you some. Ulloa, Dutton. Feels like Anderson could come in for one batter if you needed him to. He's a terrific lefty arm. You know, Javen Coleman hasn't pitched, but he's not been great. Moffitt, Ackenhausen, Little. It feels like Hurd and Guidry, maybe not. You know, Guidry may be a batter, but it feels like the guys that you won't see are Holman and Jump. You won't see Herring or Hurd, and I think it would be, you probably wouldn't see Guidry again. But it feels like everybody. Helmers feels like he could get you, you know, an inning or two. Ulloa feels like he could come back. You know, Dutton maybe starting. Ackenhausen can certainly get you an inning or two. He didn't throw very much. You know, Christian Little. All those guys feel like they could come in and get you an inning, and it may be one of those type of games, right? If I don't know if they've even announced starters yet Usually Jay Johnson doesn't announce starters too far ahead of time, so I don't know who they may be throwing. But if it's a case where you put in somebody and whoever you start gets you 2 innings, then hey, it may be all hands on deck. I'm gonna need 7 guys to get me an inning, or I'm gonna need 4 guys to get me 2 innings each, that kind of thing. So this is going to be a really fascinating game. Pitching wise, it feels like Carolina's in a better position, and usually you would be coming out of the winners bracket, simply because you'll not have played that extra game. But as we talked about in yesterday's performance, the fact that Thatcher Hurd gave you such a long start, got you into the 6th, 7th inning. The fact that coming out of the bullpen, Griffin Herring was so good in relief and gave you so many innings, even at one point turning around and saying basically, yeah, we're I want to go back. Jay Johnson wanted to pull him, and he basically talked Jay Johnson into letting him stay, and he gave you another quality inning. So yeah, let's get to some text before we get out of here. Ernie said what Caitlin Clark ought to do is sit out a few games and see how ticket sales go. That'll tell the story. Well, I mean, the ticket sales are already what they are. I don't think at this point the right play for Caitlin Clark is to sort of rock the boat, right? Is to be like, I'm going to take my ball and go home. Like, she understands what's going on. To me, it's incumbent upon the league and the officials to not just protect her, but to protect anyone from the cheap shots, the dead ball stuff, right? It's not in the course of the game, course of the action. Obviously, if you're punching someone or kicking someone or whatever, like, Rudy T stuff, Kermit Washington stuff, that's unacceptable no matter when it happens. But if it's we rough and throw somebody down fighting for a rebound, well, yeah, you might call a flagrant on that, but it's not anything that's crazy. What you have to do is make sure that you are de-incentivizing players so much from doing things off the ball or dead ball, just like we saw with Kennedy Carter, right? You have to make sure that they understand that if you pull that kind of nonsense, that there is going to be hell to pay, right? If her and Clark get caught up trash talking or locked up for a rebound or something like that, that's one thing. But you can't have someone going in a dead ball and calling another player a B word and then shoving him to the ground. Like, you just can't have that. That can't be how your league operates. Let's see. T-Bone talking about the race thing. Yeah, we talked about that. 318 said, how do we enter to win those LSU items? Is there a limit on how many you can win? This is Tornado 13. Tornado 13, we will talk about that tomorrow. Basically what it's going to amount to is we're going to kind of do maybe 1 or 2 items a day. And it'll be sort of hey, we've got the sunglasses today. If you want to win the sunglasses, just text me, hey, I'd like to win the sunglasses. And then I'll, make a list, basically. And then we will turn around and then do a drawing. It'll be a 1 through 30. I don't know how many people will want some of these items. And then I'll just do a number randomizer and we'll put it up on the screen so everyone can see. And then the pick will go that way. It'll be just a random drawing, and you can enter for all of them. I'd prefer not to have the same people win every item, but we'll see. If it may be a win 2 kind of thing, but it'll be a randomized drawing. I'm just trying to spread the wealth. I'm not concerned with who wins. I hope everyone gets a little something. I think that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, Tornado 13, that'll be happening tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, we'll start giving away our items. Again, we've got an LSU alumni koozie. We've got some cool sunglasses. We got a tie. We got a plastic cup. We got a plastic fan. And we've got 10 styrofoam cups. All are LSU alumni stamped, or in the case of the sunglasses, just say LSU. They're gold sunglasses that say LSU on them. In the case of the tie, it's just the LSU plaid tartan scheme, but it does not actually say LSU anywhere on it. It's a very nice, I mean, honestly, if I was a tie wearer, I would keep it, but I just don't wear ties that often. All right, that's it for me and my little radio program. We appreciate everyone for being a part. Trey, double rush today. You're welcome, Trey. You can thank our boy Hambone. Got to see Trey out at Walk-Ons on Friday. That was good. Always good to catch up with the man, the myth, the legend. Trey Langford was awesome. Always good to chat with that dude. He is a good human being, that Trey Langford. The text said that Loved Him Cowboy said the free throw that Caitlin made on the foul was the difference in the game. Yeah, it ended up being a 1-point game. So, having issues off the dead ball, that hurts your team in a close game. That's exactly what we saw happen. So, yeah, it could be a little karma there, if you like. All right, that's it for us. We'll start giving away the LSU items tomorrow, so very much looking forward to that. For Rogers Hampton, I'm Patrick Netherton. Y'all be safe and careful out there, everyone. Want to see you back here tomorrow from 1 to 3 on the Patrick Netherton Show.